out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Did you have to go to jail or put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you found the right man who'll fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair, and are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine? Think you was dodging all the time. Are you still dizzy? Since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me, Valerie. Hey, Valerie.
Ready? I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Let's go. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, yeah. Talking about my girl, I've got so much honey, the bees in me. I got a sweeter song, baby, yeah, than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? My girl, talking about my girl. Ooh. Let's go, horns, let's go.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see. Painted faces fill no places I can't reach. You know that I could use somebody. You know that I could use somebody. Someone like you, and all you know and how you speak. Countless lovers under cover of the streets. You know that I could use somebody. You know that I could use somebody. Someone like you. Someone like you. in the night while you live it up. I'm off to sleep, waging wars to shape the poet in the beat. And I hope it's gonna make you notice. Yeah, I hope it's gonna make you notice. Or someone like me. Or someone like me. Or someone like me is somebody. Or someone like me is somebody. I'm ready now, 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 I'm ready. Or someone like you, somebody. Like you.
Sing it with me, y'all. Come on, say. Uh-oh, 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 no, no. Uh-oh, 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 no, no. Uh-oh, 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 no, no. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I look and stare so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2 or 3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try explain. How I'm feeling, my pride is the one to blame. Yeah, but I know I don't understand just how your love can do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love's got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Gotta hold me, you pay me right now. Your hands gotta hold me, you save me right now. Looking so crazy in love. Got me looking so crazy in love. Hey, come on. Uh-oh, 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 no, no. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. When I talk to my friends so quietly, who he think he is? Look at what you did to me. See, the shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. If you ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. The way that I know what I thought I knew, the beat to my heart says when I'm mature. But I still don't understand just how you love me, do it, no one else can. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your love got me looking so crazy right now. Got me looking so crazy right now. Your touch got me looking so crazy right now. Gotta hold me, you pay me right now. Your kids gotta hold me, you save me right now. Looking so crazy in love. Got me looking so crazy in love. Looking so crazy in love. Got me looking so crazy. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Hey. Hey. Come on, y'all. One more time. Hey. Hey. Come on. Got me looking.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to LISC NYC's 2022 Big Apple Virtual Awards Gala. We are thrilled to have you join us for LISC NYC's second virtual gala. My name is Greg Bishop, Executive Director of the Joe and Clara Tsai Foundation's Social Justice Fund, and I will be your MC for the evening. Many of you may have remembered me from last year's virtual gala, and I'm excited to have been asked to return. I'm also this year's host committee chairman and one of 19 members of LISC NYC's local advisory committee. We're a group of community development advocates who serve as ambassadors of LISC NYC's mission. Over the years, we have witnessed LISC NYC's ability to catalyze inclusive economic change in underinvested neighborhoods around the city. LISC NYC has shown itself a key player in affordable housing, economic development, community-based lending, capital investment expansion, health equity, and financial mobility. The theme of this year's Big Apple Gala is New York City's Path Forward, the Road to an Equitable Recovery. This reflects LISC NYC's pivot from the emergency response to the pandemic towards building a framework for a better future. We'll be acknowledging the partners, programs, and community-based organizations working alongside us toward a better and more equitable New York City. We are thrilled to recognize the great partnerships built between tonight's honorees, Macquarie Group and Bridge Street Development Corporation. We'll get a look at how the past year allowed LISC NYC to be creative in how they invest in the neighborhoods across the city and businesses who need it the most, like this year's Deal of the Year Spotlight, La Mama. We'll look at the critically important results generated by LISC NYC's Developers of Color training program, this year's Program of the Year, and how the innovative program creates new pathways for minority-owned development firms. Not to mention the groundbreaking deal between DASNY, the Kmite Group, and LISC, which offers a pivotal new framework that will change how public-private partnerships work towards closing the racial wealth gap and increasing access to capital for MWBEs. And of course, we will spotlight a few of the exceptional organizations who stepped up during the height of the pandemic and are now working their way towards recovery. Real stories about what makes New York unique, its resiliency. Before we start tonight's program, I would like to give a special thank you to all of LISC NYC's partners and financial supporters. We also want to encourage all of you to visit the Big Apple Gala exhibition hall. We thank all of the exhibitors for making this a special addition to this year's event. We have a great show planned, and we are so grateful to have you all in attendance. Let's take a look at some of the amazing work LISC NYC has been able to accomplish in 2021.
Hi, everyone. It's Senator Chuck Schumer, and thank you to LISC New York City for the chance to share a message at your big annual Big Apple Gala. To Valerie White, to the LISC team, and to all of LISC's incredible partners, thank you for all you do fighting for something desperately needed in New York, more affordable housing, for New York small businesses, and for strengthening our city's neighborhoods. LISC's history is long and proud in our city. For over 40 years, you've been a vital champion, lifting up New York's most vulnerable neighborhoods and planting the seeds for a stronger economy here at home. Whether it's investing in community infrastructure and affordable housing, or helping minority and women-owned businesses secure access to capital, or making sure businesses get help through LISC's Rapid Relief and Resiliency Fund, LISC has been a force for good for so long, and we're all proud to support its mission. Tonight, I want to give a special shout out to 2022's Big Apple honorees, Macquarie Group and Bridge Street Development Corporation. Your work on behalf of New York's small minority-owned businesses has been groundbreaking. Thank you for all you do. It's been a hard 2 years for our city and our country, as we know. But I'm proud that during my time as Majority Leader, Democrats have gotten a lot done to help New Yorkers through the pandemic. From CARES in 2020, to the American Rescue Plan, we've secured over $100 billion in dedicated funding for New York, including rental assistance, emergency housing vouchers, the child tax credit, the earned income tax credit, increased nutritional assistance. And of course, I'm very proud I fought for and secured a permanent fixed 4% low-income housing tax credit rate, crucial for creating over 20,000 new affordable units in New York over the next decade. Of course, we still have a lot of work to do to get past this pandemic, but please know that every day I'm in Washington, it'll be my highest priority to fight for New York. Together, we'll continue to support LISC's mission, working towards fully meeting our city's affordable housing needs and achieving an equitable economic recovery from the pandemic, just as we have done throughout our city's history. I'm confident that New York will come back stronger and more prosperous than ever, and LISC's work will play a vital role in making that happen.
Good evening. I'm Valerie White, Executive Director of LISC NYC. I'm so excited to virtually gather with you once again this year to celebrate LISC NYC's annual Big Apple Awards Gala. I would like to give a big thanks to all of our committed partners and financial supporters. You are a big reason why LISC NYC continues to do what we do best: raise and distribute capital for low and moderate income individuals in underinvested communities across New York City. This year, we're proud to recognize our Big Apple honorees, McCrory Group and Bridge Street Development Corporation. Both organizations had a tremendous hand in assisting small businesses during this recovery. I'd also like to give special thanks to LISC NYC's local advisory committee members for their steady support and commitment to the communities we serve. Closing the racial wealth gap based on racial and economic equity requires deliberate action. From investing in broadband infrastructure in Black and brown neighborhoods who still lack access to high-speed internet, to commercial rent relief specifically targeted toward BIPOC-owned small businesses in disinvested neighborhoods, to top-down capacity building for CBOs and nonprofit organizations that help Black and brown businesses, individuals, families, immigrants, and communities of color connect to the resources they need to thrive. Only when ownership can be accumulated will it be possible to entirely and systematically close the racial wealth gap. It is critical that real pathways are created to help Black and brown New Yorkers become homeowners and business owners to jumpstart the process of building generational wealth. Part of our mission here at LISC NYC is building wealth as we contribute to an equitable economic recovery across the 5 boroughs. One way in which we do this is by building out the ecosystem needed for minority-owned small businesses in the New York City real estate industry to thrive and grow. Our collective expertise, lived experience, and track record of success in creating wealth-building opportunities for MWBEs will enable these firms to build out a pipeline of businesses in sub-industries, including development, construction, marketing, energy retrofitting, maintenance, and other skilled trades and professional services. The New York City real estate sector drives economic growth and wealth creation. However, structural barriers, especially barriers to accessing capital and networks of leaders and decision makers, prevent minority-owned firms from breaking into and achieving economic success in this industry. On behalf of LISC NYC, I'd like to once again extend a huge thank you to all of our partners and financial supporters. Your support and generosity mean much, and it is making an impact on countless New York City communities and families.
I've been an admirer of LISC's work for many years. And in 2020, I read about the COVID-19 recovery work with small businesses in New York City. And also saw the COVID benefit concert where Alicia Keys spoke about the work LISC was doing to support folks really disproportionately impacted by COVID, particularly in communities of color. Macquarie's purpose is to really empower people to innovate and invest for a better future. That's why we care so much about the work that we do has a positive outcome not only for our clients and investors, but also the teams within our business and, most importantly, the communities in which we live and work. In May of 2021, over 30 Macquarie staff participated in LISC's Relaunch Academy. Our people presented to many small business and community organizations about how to build their brand on social media such as Facebook and Instagram and market their businesses. Our staff also presented on the importance of financials and held a number of one-on-one consulting sessions with these small business owners to dive deeper into what they really needed and help them come up with a game plan to overcome obstacles that they were facing. At Macquarie, we really pride ourselves on having an entrepreneurial spirit, and these small business owners are really true examples of that. We greatly value our partnership with LISC, and it goes well beyond our initial funding and volunteer opportunities. We continue to look for ways that Macquarie can further support the communities within which our people live and work. We're really looking forward to years of partnership to help small businesses around the country not only survive, but really truly thrive.
Before we move forward, we must acknowledge that America is full of complex social problems. There has been a long battle of economic and systemic inequities. Our skin color, education, social class are all metrics we each are being measured by. Now more than ever, we have the resources and access to opportunities that can be utilized to bridge the gap between those markers we all inevitably have, good or bad, and a person's greatest potential. I applaud the community-based organizations and BIPOC-owned businesses who took the initiative to transform their businesses in order to continue to support our communities. In 2021, LISC NYC was proud to increase its investment by 117%. This means that more affordable housing units, commercial retail space will be created to provide space for low to moderate income New Yorkers and small businesses. In partnership with their community-based partner, Asian Americans for Equality, LISC NYC closed a $9.6 million construction loan for an affordable housing development in the Lower East Side. This project ensured that 44 new affordable units will be sold at or below 95% of the area median income throughout New York City's Housing Connect 2.0 lottery. This project was just one of the many housing developments LISC NYC invested in. In 2021, LISC NYC reached nearly 10,000 low to moderate income individuals through their work by investing in affordable housing and economic development projects across the city. Check out what LISC NYC has accomplished this past year by visiting lisc.org/NYC.
Greetings, my name is Eva Allagood and I'm the Deputy Director of LISC New York City. I'm really excited to introduce our program of the year, the LISC New York City Developers of Color Training Program. The concept for the program emerged from research our partner, R.F. Wilkins Consultants, conducted on the challenges facing MBE developers, trying to get a greater market share of the affordable housing and real estate industry in New York City. Findings from the study show that developers of color need access to capital, opportunities to enhance their networks, and targeted training to build their capacity to grow their portfolio of business. In response, we partnered with Columbia University to design a program that combines instruction by Columbia faculty and other industry experts, along with workshops, one-on-one coaching, real-time assistance with deals in the project pipeline, networking support, and access to equity capital with a Shark Tank-type investor pitch conference at the program's conclusion. So we're thrilled to have launched the pilot round with 12 developers of color in November 2021 to further our mission of supporting more inclusive and equitable wealth generation. This comes at a critical time in our city's recovery from COVID-19, in which racial equity must be at the forefront of everything we do. 'So I'd like to thank our funders who've made this program possible. Capital One is our lead funder who provided us with initial seed funding as well as support for the program launch. We have also received generous support from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Mizuho Americas, PNC Bank, Sterling National Bank, Trinity Church Wall Street Philanthropies, Wells Fargo, and Valley National Bank. Now let's take a look at this year's Program of the Year, LISC New York City's Developers of Color Training Program.
Our advancing real estate motto is preparing to build out an ecosystem to support BIPOC-owned businesses in New York City's real estate sector. We want to be able to build affordable housing and create an infrastructure that contributes to the pathway for the recovery of New York City due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me introduce two brothers, Randall and Roland Powell, co-founders of Infinite Horizons LLC, one of the 12 BIPOC development firms participating in our Developers of Color training program.
Infinite Horizons is an affordable housing development company that was started by Roland and I back in 2007 when we saw the foreclosure crisis hit our community of Southeast Jamaica, Queens, and being the fact that we're from the community and we have a lot of ties in the neighborhood, we didn't want to see our community go through a lot of the distress that was taking place across the city. We're connected to the LISC NYC Developers of Training program because they provided us with a pre-development loan for our first ground-up new construction project located in the Melrose section of the Bronx.
We were applying for a lot of government money, a lot of city money, and because COVID happened, all the agencies shut down, and it kind of pushed us back. I want to say like maybe 2 years of where we would have been today.
I think there's a great window of opportunity to support Black entrepreneurs, Black developers that hasn't been out there in years. Take yourself to the next level by going out there and taking the risk and believing in yourself and using LISC as an organization, participating in the LISC Developers of Color training program to enhance your skills and fill in the gaps. You know what you know and you know what you don't know. The LISC Developers of Training program can help you fill those gaps so that you know what you need to know in order to move forward and build a thriving business, especially during these very great opportunistic times to build businesses for Black communities.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, y'all. Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, yeah. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Oh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, yeah. Hey, say here I am, baby. Oh, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, baby. Here I am, baby. Oh, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, baby. I've done a lot of foolish things, yeah, that I really didn't mean. I could be a broken man, baby, baby. I've done a lot of foolish things, yeah, that I really didn't mean. I could be a broken man, baby. One more time. I've done a lot of foolish things, yeah, that I really didn't mean. I could be a broken man, baby, baby. I've done a lot of foolish things, yeah, that I really didn't mean. I could be a broken man, baby, baby.
When New York City became the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic, millions of New Yorkers experienced loss, whether it be jobs, family members, or homes. The COVID-19 pandemic heightened crime and placed a microscope on economic injustice and racism. There were many who were forced to leave, but the neighborhood-rooted responders stayed and made sure that their communities had access to the tools to recover. For those responders, New York is forever grateful.
My name is Nicoa Evans, Executive Director of Harlem Park to Park, one of the 16 community partners included in the LISC NYC Small Business Relief and Recovery Fund. As a strategic advisor and community developer, I have championed entrepreneurs for over 30 years. The last 2 years have made all too clear the challenges that many nonprofits and small business owners face in New York City. And at the same time, these last 24 months showed the critical role these businesses and organizations play in our communities. In 2021, community-based organizations stepped up to make sure that the services and resources needed to ensure a well-rounded recovery for all New York City neighborhoods were in place. Last year was the year we began to plan the path forward towards our city's recovery. It's no secret that the heaviest impact was felt in Black and brown neighborhoods throughout the ongoing pandemic. In the spring of 2021, LISC NYC conducted a survey with minority-owned businesses that showed the depth of the crisis. Nearly 3/4 of minority-owned small businesses fear they will be forced to close if they do not receive immediate financial relief. Minority-owned small businesses lost 32.5% of their workforce over the course of the pandemic. More than half, or 51%, of minority-owned small businesses could not pay their full February rent. And among minority-owned small businesses that were unable to pay all their rent, more than half, or 53%, could afford to pay no rent at all, while 2 in 5, or 43%, could afford to pay less than half their rent. This survey underscored what many of us were living and seeing, the continued need for more resources. Through unique partnerships and special funding opportunities, LISC NYC was able to distribute over $750,000 in grants to business development organizations to assist small businesses. Organizations like LISC NYC understand the importance in funding community-based organizations. For many, organizations like LISC NYC are their first stop. Consistently sounding the alarm for more funding and resources is exactly what we needed to make sure that the city's recovery is indeed a transformation toward equity. This past year, there were also opportunities for community-based organizations to make strides in health equity through LISC partnerships like WEDCO in the Bronx, or our friends at the Rockaway Development and Revitalization Corporation, making sure that the needs of some of our most physically disconnected areas are met. The need is still there. Our nonprofits who are still on the front lines need more resources. Our small businesses that are undoubtedly the backbone of this city still need our support. But thanks to LISC NYC, these community-based organizations have a reliable and committed advocate to make sure those needs are met.
Good evening. My name is George Ashton. I'm the president of LISC Fund Management. We manage the $250 million Black Economic Development Fund, a fund focused on economic improvements in the Black community. About a year ago, Valerie came to me with the concept of creating a working line of capital for minority subcontractors in New York. Through a lot of hard work and some innovative engineering, we were able to construct a $10 million investment in partnership with the Kayamite Group to offer working capital to minority subcontractors in New York. It's an important part of the ecosystem in New York and an important part of increasing access to capital and opportunity. Many of these subcontractors are more than capable of producing the work to satisfy the contracts. However, because of historic systemic issues, do not have the on-balance sheet capital to qualify financially for these contracts. We're excited to work with LISC New York to remove those barriers and to allow those companies to get access to those contracts. The short-term effects are clear. The jobs at those subcontractors will be preserved and they'll create new jobs as well from the work that they're signing up for. The long-term effects for the community overall are also impressive. Economic growth and access to opportunity for those businesses as they continue to grow, but also for partner businesses that they work with. It's great to see that multiplier effect on the investment. We're excited to work with LISC New York for their thematic mission of increasing equitable access to capital. And I'm excited for you to learn more about this program in the next segment.
Hello, my name is David Kamite. I am the president and CEO of the Kamite Group.
My name is Michael Clay. I am the senior director of the Opportunity Programs Group in procurement for the Dormitory Authority State of New York, better known as DASNY.
We are a MBE, DBE firm that provides bonding, capital access, and insurance to firms of all size across the country.
DASNY has had a commitment to MWBEs and SDVOBs for a number of years.
We focus on helping them develop so they can pre-qualify for DASNY projects and other projects. We help build their capacity. We help them with back office support. We help them with financial and operational management.
The DASNY Capital Management Plan was born out of a surety bond training program which was established in 2009.
We are a sponsor for LISC BEDF, which means that we are managing all aspects of the $10 million fund, facilitating working capital for minorities to participate on DASNY's projects.
The landscape, in my opinion, will be changed forever due to public-private partnerships as a result of the infrastructure funding, as a result of capital projects across New York State. MWBEs and SDVOBs are required to get ready today to prepare for these upcoming opportunities tomorrow.
We've taken away a lot of the excuses so that the MWBE can be hired and participate in New York's development.
Don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back, just said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. You victims of the night, the chemical, physical, kryptonite, desperate to the the fading lights. I knew we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Backless dress and some beat-up sneaks. My discotheque Juliet, teenage dream. I felt it in my chest when she looked at me. I knew we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. Woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Deep in her eyes, I think I see the future. I realize this is my last chance. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We hit the floor and she said, can we get a little of this? Wherever you may be. Oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance. Don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Yeah, ooh, shut up and dance.
Many gathering spaces throughout New York City were forced to shut down due to the pandemic. The theater business, one of the hallmarks of New York City's entertainment, had to quickly adjust. From Broadway to small local theater clubs, all these spaces that make New York unique and an icon around the world found ways to keep us entertained during these difficult times. Since 1961, La Mama Experimental Theater has opened their doors to underrepresented artists and provided many the opportunity to experience New York City's rich theater community. Now, let's take a look at LISC NYC's Deal of the Year Spotlight, La Mama.
Mama, a revered New York City experimental theater club founded in 1961, is completing an extensive and challenging $23 million renovation to its historic building at 74 East 4th Street. LISC has provided $7 million in financing to bridge Economic Development Commission grants and private fundraising. La Mama is not only structurally saving the landmarked off-Broadway theater, but is making enhancements with technical equipment to improve the performance spaces and allow for significant online live streaming and collaborative programming.
The pandemic reaffirmed what we were already reimagining for our new building, and that is art making and arts engagement with local and remote communities, bringing people together. And the pandemic only served to accelerate that initiative that we were already undertaking with the renovation and in our artistic practice in general.
With LISC, we've been able to preserve and renovate this landmark building that will remain a creative home for future generations of artists.
In this sense, this renovation, which was conceived prior to the COVID crisis, appears visionary. The story of this block is unique in its history of artistic activity and grassroots activism. La Mama's founder secured this building from the city, which sold 6 buildings for $1 each to artist tenants, in lieu of raising this as the Cooper Square urban renewal area. La Mama's leadership was then not only beneficial to the broader East 4th Street cultural district, but was also ahead of its time on issues now in focus around economic equality.
Those government entities have invested heavily in this project. They've granted La Mama about $16 million in funding for this project. But without LISC, we wouldn't have been able to do it, because the way it works with the city is all those funds come to you as reimbursements. So without the rotating line of credit from LISC and the financing made possible by LISC, we never would have been able to front the money. So it's made it, they're just like everything to us. LISC is a tremendous organization. There are so many other great organizations like La Mama that they have supported, and they are just really champions of the Lower East Side, I would say, today.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us once again at this year's Big Apple Gala. I've been at LISC for over 2 decades, and as many of you know, I have a deep connection not only to this city, but with LISC New York City, where I once served as the executive director. Today, I'm humbled and excited to now serve as LISC's president. And together with all the many remarkable staff here at LISC, we will continue to innovate, invest, and focus our energy to help forge vibrant, resilient communities in New York and throughout the country. I also want to congratulate LISC New York's Valerie White for her outstanding leadership and the great team that she leads, for the many milestones they have achieved so far. So far, over $1 million in resources have been distributed to business development organizations, or BDOs, and over $25 million in loans closed in 2021. LISC New York City continues to lead, innovate, and I really congratulate the team for the excellent work they're doing with strategic partners like you. We're always reminded that our work never sleeps and our commitment will never quit. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
As we begin our path forward, we start to realize how unified, resilient, and innovative New Yorkers are. I'd say New York City is a city full of phoenixes, rising from the ashes of New York City's COVID-battered economy. I understand firsthand the immense difficulty for small businesses and underinvested communities to gain access to capital. For 5 years, I served as a commissioner of the New York City Department of Small Business Services, and that experience has taught me how great New Yorkers can be when given the opportunity and resources to succeed. I grew up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, where I've witnessed some of the clear disadvantages for minority and women-owned businesses, as well as New York City's underinvested communities. My experience growing up in these neighborhoods have only propelled my passion to connect small businesses and people with the skills, capital, and assets needed to prosper during economic hardships. This pandemic has only exacerbated the challenges faced by underinvested communities and small businesses of New York City. With a focused vision, we can build an economically secure and equitable New York City. A New York City that uplifts its diverse communities through proper investments, building a strong economic foundation, advancing technology and resources to drive our communities forward. We've come back from Hurricane Sandy and Ida, a pandemic and economic crises. We know hardship, we know challenge, yet we overcome. That's what New Yorkers do. Your support continues to be important, and we want to sincerely thank our partners and financial supporters that help LISC NYC translate its mission into action and advocacy every day. Visit lisc.org/NYC and click donate to make your donation right now. Today, we recognize Bridge Street Development Corporation for propelling their community forward during these times of economic and civil hardships. As our second honoree of the evening, we are filled with gratitude for the long-standing partnership and diligent work of Bridge Street Development Corporation.
Hey, Naomi. Okay, hey there, how you doing? Bridge Street Development Corporation was founded in 1995 by leaders of the Bridge Street AME Church. The church is nationally and historically known for its social justice work, having been a stop on the Underground Railroad and having such notables as Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass speak from its pulpit. Our motto at Bridge Street is building on community strength, and our greatest strength resides within the people of our community. All of our programming and services in economic development, affordable housing, youth development, senior services, and community organizing are designed to provide civic and financial empowerment opportunities to low to moderate income residents of Bedford-Stuyvesant and Central Brooklyn. LISC has been a truly important partner in our economic development work throughout the pandemic. In 2020, we assisted 7 women and minority-owned small businesses who each received $10,000 grants from the LISC Small Business Relief and Recovery Fund. These grants helped retain 38 jobs in Bedford-Stuyvesant. LISC has enhanced our organizational capacity to respond to the challenges in our community brought on by COVID-19 by financing our affordable housing development, our outreach to over 1,000 tenants, and providing a cash-in fellow who supported our work with small businesses and our summer youth employment program. Bridge Street Development greatly values and appreciates our long-standing collaborations with LISC, and we are extremely proud to be recognized as LISC Community Partner of the Year.
I know I'm cute. Louis down to my drawers, LV all on my shoes. I be tripping so much sauce, got a chick looking like ragu. Lit up like a crystal ball, that's cute, baby, so is you. That's how I roll. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. Yeah, I'm gold. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. Got to know. I'm like shot and they get better over time. So you know. Heard you say I'm not the baddest. Hey, it ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the pudding in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. No, I'm not a snack at all. Look, baby, I'm the whole damn meal. Nick, you ain't being slick. Don't dare try to cop a feel. The juice ain't worth the squeeze if the juice don't look like this. Like this, like this, like this. Hold up, wait a minute, don't make me have to take your chick. That's how I roll. If I'm shining, everybody gonna shine. Yeah, I'm gold. I was born like this, don't even gotta try. So you know, I'm like shot and they get better over time. Don't you know? Heard you say I'm not the baddest. Shake you like, come on, y'all. It ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the pudding in the fruit. Gotta blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my. Hey, somebody come get this man. I think he got lost in my DM. What? My DM. What? Hey, you better come get your man. I think he wanna be way more than friends. What? More than friends. Hey, it ain't my fault that I'm out here getting loose. Gotta blame it on the goose. Gotta blame it on my juice, baby. It ain't my fault that I'm out here making news. I'm the pudding in the proof. Gotta blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 hey, blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blame it on my juice. Blame it on my juice.
LISC NYC brings together multi-sector partners across New York City's 5 boroughs to address complex challenges facing the city. It's hard to capture in a few short words how much LISC's community-based partnerships have helped lay out a plan to kickstart New York City's economic recovery. We'd like to give a special thanks to our partners and fiscal supporters that help support LISC NYC's mission. Your dedication to advancing economic and racial equity will transform New York City for the better. Visit lisc.org/NYC and click Donate to make your donation right now. I hope you're all enjoying our second virtual Big Apple Gala. 2021 was a year of rebuilding, creating opportunities, and a path forward. LISC NYC was there to help community-based nonprofits, government agencies, and technical assistance providers build a better framework that creates equitable access to resources for all. LISC NYC's extraordinary team went above and beyond, working behind the scenes to pave the road to an equitable recovery. Let's take a moment now to recognize LISC NYC's team.
Hello, my name is Lisa Glover and I'm the CEO of LISC, and I'm so happy to celebrate the 2022 Big Apple Awards with all of you. This year's theme, The Road to an Equitable Recovery, has always represented LISC's work and investment in communities. It's especially true today. The last 2 years have been a trying time for all of us, and I'm proud that LISC continues to meet the moment and serve the needs of New York, a state that's been hit particularly hard during the pandemic. We are excited for the opportunity to work with 2 new administrations, including Governor Kathy Hochul and Mayor Eric Adams, to bring new opportunities for LISC NYC to enter into public and private partnerships and help us drive an equitable recovery in the state. I also want to congratulate the Big Apple honorees, the Macquarie Group, whose dedication and support to LISC made an impact on so many small businesses, and the Bridge Street Development Corporation, whose partnership with LISC and dedication to small businesses has driven meaningful impact for years. I'm so proud of the work that Valerie and her team have done for our communities and celebrate the partnerships that they've forged to benefit New York. So congratulations to all and enjoy the event.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We've seen over the past year how fragile our systems and infrastructure are to unexpected crises. Damages inflicted by Hurricane Ida, the ongoing pandemic, growing the need for emergency rental assistance, landlord rental assistance, and unemployment insurance. There's a common theme in all of this. New York City needs strong partners to assist in the preparation for what's happening now and what's to come. This problem is solvable with the right leaders and organizations who truly want to see New York City thrive. 2021 was a year to set the plan for making strides to an equitable recovery. 2022 will be the year to put those plans to action. I'm full of hope that New York City will be the example for making a major comeback. You can help us begin the road to recovery and increase access to capital tonight. Please consider joining in this effort by making a contribution. Just visit lisc.org/NYC and click Donate to make your donation right now. Tonight, you've seen how LISC NYC works to ensure that small businesses, MWB firms, commercial corridors, and underinvested communities not only survive, but thrive. Your investment provides LISC NYC with the ability to finance both affordable housing and economic development projects and benefit low to moderate income communities, in addition to managing impactful initiatives like we've seen during tonight's program. Thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you, LISC NYC, for your commitment to supporting local communities, and congratulations to tonight's honorees, Macquarie Group and Bridge Street Development Corporation. Have a good night.
Rock steady, baby, that's what I feel now. Let's count this song exactly what it is. Step and move your hips, really feeling from side to side. Or sit yourself down in your car and take a ride. And while you're moving, rock steady, baby. Let's count this song exactly what it is. What it is, what it is, what it is. It's a funky and low down feeling in my hips from left to right. What it is I might be doing this funky dance all night. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Rock steady, babe. Rock steady. Talk to me, horns. Let's go. Take a ride, and while you move, rock steady, baby. Let's count this song exactly what it is. It's a funky and low down feeling in my hips from left to right. What it is I might be doing this funky dance all night. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Rock steady. steady. Rock. Oh, yeah. It's a low down feeling in my hips from left to right, babe. I wanna sing it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Rock steady, baby. Rock steady. Give it to me, honey. Let's go. Oh. Today, I left a good job in the city. I was working for the man every night and day, and I never lost 1 minute of sleep. Yes, worried about the way things might end. They keep on turning. Oh, baby, keep on burning. And we're rolling, yeah. Rolling on the river. Yes, and we're rolling. Every night and day, and I never lost 1 minute of sleep. Yeah, worried about the way things might have been. That big wheel keep on turning, oh, baby, keep on burning, and we're rolling, 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 rolling on the river, rolling on the river, rolling, 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 rolling on the river, rolling on the river. Down in New Orleans, but I never saw